the top 5 things to not do to your motorcycle as a new rider. So starting this off, there's a bunch of things when you first get into motorcycles. You're going to see a lot of stuff on bikes that you're going to think is absolutely awesome. You're going to want to put this stuff on your motorcycle. Number 1, tall ape hangers. Not just tall ape hangers, but also tall, wide ape hangers. So if you're putting 42-inch wide ape hangers that are 18, 24 inches tall and you're a 5'8" individual, it's not going to work out great. The reason why I'm saying not to go with the wide apes, you're going to lose control of the motorcycle. When I say lose control, I'm not saying you're going to wreck the bike, but we have seen a lot of people that have wrecked motorcycles because their handlebars were too high. What you want to do is you want to find a comfortable riding position for yourself. Do not put motorcycle handlebars on just because of the way you think they look, you like the style. You need to make sure they're functioning properly for you. So the wider they are, the harder it's going to be to turn and maneuver that motorcycle. Lots of people don't think about that until it comes time to ride the bike. Now, if you're a 6'4" individual, you may need an 18 or a 20-inch ape hanger. My wife, she's pretty tall. She's like 5'10". She runs 16-inch apes on her bike. She likes it. She can handle the bike properly. Just before you start throwing the tall bars on your bike, the wide bars on your bike, get out there and test ride bikes at your local dealership, or if your friends have them that have these handlebars on them. Make sure the bike is set up properly for you. Number 2, tall rear shocks. I understand what everyone's going to say. I run tall rear shocks on my bike. I have a 13.5. Factory comes with a 12. Dudes are running 14 and 15-inch rear shocks. On my Sportster, I went with 14-inch rear shocks. I've been riding for a decade, so my experience is going to be different than yours. Make sure you are flat-footed when you are on your motorcycle. Once you get experience, you've been riding for years, you don't have to be flat-footed on the bike. But in order to gain confidence as a new rider, keep the bike low, keep your center of gravity low, keep your feet planted firmly on the ground. When you come to a red light, when you come to a stop sign, having the ability to center your weight on that motorcycle and to keep your feet on the ground flat-footed is absolutely essential. It's going to build confidence in you, and in turn, building that confidence is going to allow you to push your limits and grow and learn as a motorcycle rider. But number 2, do not put the tall shocks on there. You're going to be scrolling through Instagram. You're going to see the bikes with the huge gaps in between the tire and the rear fender. It looks amazing. It's set up for performance. They handle great. But when you are first starting, do not do it to yourself. You're going to have that bike up pretty tall. It's going to be to the point where you may have to tiptoe at a red light or a stop sign. Get comfortable before you start progressing. Number 3, forward controls. So when you first start riding a motorcycle, you want to be comfortable on it. You want to learn how to operate the motorcycle in the most safe and efficient way possible, and you want to be comfortable. When you go to a motorcycle training academy, when you take a motorcycle training course, those motorcycles come set up with mid controls for a reason. The mid controls help you keep control of the motorcycle and lean it to make shorter, tighter maneuvers in a shorter, tighter distance. So if you're running forward controls, you're stretching your body out, your feet are way out in front of you. If you're trying to do a figure 8, if you're a seasoned rider, you'll be able to do it no problem. If you're new to motorcycles, you may feel uncomfortable, you may feel a little off balance, and you may reach to put your foot down. That's going to fail a motorcycle exam. So if you are just getting into motorcycle riding and you have not taken a motorcycle rider's course, go out and do it. The things you're going to learn there are going to be beneficial to you. You're going to love it. But make sure the motorcycle is set up for you to have complete control over. There's only 3 points of contact that you have on your motorcycle at any given time. Your hands on the handlebar, your butt on the seat, and your feet on your foot pegs. So don't go stretching yourself out with 20-inch ape hangers and forward controls and all this crazy stuff if you're not comfortable on the bike yet. It could lead you to a very bad situation. Number 4, motor upgrades. If you are new to motorcycles, you're just getting into the game for the first time, you just got your first motorcycle, you need to put miles on it. You need to get comfortable on that bike. I know the advertising is out there and everybody is telling you to put the biggest engine on. You need a 135, you need a 128, you need a 143. The fact is, you don't need all that stuff. What you need is a lower displacement motorcycle. So if you do get nervous and you find yourself in a situation, you don't grab that throttle, give it whiskey throttle, and end up going 80 mile an hour out of control because you don't know the controls of the bike yet. Stay within your riding comfort. Make sure you ride within your skill set until you get comfortable on the bike. I can't tell you how many people come in, buy their first bike. First thing they want to do is throw a cam in the bike. First thing they want to do is get it tuned, start doing engine work to it. You don't know how many times those people set those bikes down, wreck those bikes, get overly confident too fast, and end up in a bad situation. You have to understand as a new rider, there's potholes on the road that you can lose half a wheel in. I've seen 2-3 foot deep potholes. I've seen people wreck, go over the handlebars hitting these potholes. I don't know exactly where you live if the roads are that bad, but up here in Northeast Ohio, in the spring, it's not uncommon to find a 6 to 8 inch deep pothole that will bend your rim. So ride within your comfort zone. We also have deer out here that will run directly out in front of you. We also have a lot of teenage drivers on cell phones not paying attention. Always be defensive, ride within your comfort zone. Don't go building your engine if you don't need to, if you're not experienced, if you don't need that power. I have a 114. That bike is fast enough for me. You don't need to go 180 mile an hour 6 months in the riding. You don't. Stay within your comfort zone, learn your skill set, develop it from there. Number 5, hardtail choppers. If you are new to riding motorcycles and the first thing you do is you start hopping on these forums and you bought your 1200 Sportster and you're looking at all these pictures and you see these guys out there with these 1200 Sportsters, chopped, hardtail, rigid frames, you're gonna pay to play when you do that. You remove that rear suspension, your body is now the suspension. You're gonna absorb all of that impact. Like I said before, stay within your comfort zone. Choppers are cool, they're amazing. I love looking at them. I love riding them very short distances. But if this is your first motorcycle, you're just getting into the game, this is your first bike, you're trying to be comfortable, put some miles on it, the hardtail is not the way to go. Get yourself a good set of rear shocks so that you can lean better, you can feel the road better, and you can experience the comfort of riding. I've seen it too many times where guys go out and they get their first Sportster. It's an 883, it's a 1200, and they ride it for a couple months. Over the winter, they decide they're going to hardtail kit this bike. They either buy a Paco frame or they buy a weld-on, hardtail rigid setup. over the winter, they build that bike, they get it all chopped out. The bike looks gorgeous. They go take it out. Now these guys don't want to ride with you. They're only riding the maybe 4 or 5 bike events a year. They're going just to that event. They're parking the bike. They're taking pictures of it. They're not crushing miles. They're not out there enjoying the ride. They're more worried about saving their back and their spleen. They don't want to show up to the show and, run right to the bathroom and pee blood. So it's not comfortable. You're not going to ride for extended periods of time. A lot of the guys I know that go to these chopper shows are trailering their bikes there. They either put them in a van, they put them on a trailer, ride them to the event, drop them off, take pictures of them. They're not crushing thousands of miles on these bikes. Now, once you have the experience, once you've been riding, that may be the way you want to go. I do know a lot of old school chopper riders that will ride hundreds and thousands of miles every single year on a hardtail. No suspension, and that's the way they like to ride. They're true to their roots, and that's the way they do it. But those are the top 5 things I would say that you're going to make a mistake as a new rider. Don't be put off by all the hype and all the media about what you need. You don't need the long forward controls. You don't need the 30-inch ape hangers. You don't need to build your engine to make 130 horsepower, and you sure don't need to hardtail your bike. Ride what you got, get on the road, enjoy yourself, keep it rubber side down, and like always, guys, enjoy the ride.